Did you know that you have to occasionally clear ChatGPT's memory in order for it to give you the correct answers that you actually want? Or maybe you didn't know that you can now automate certain tasks with ChatGPT. Well, those two things are absolutely nothing compared to the 17 tips and tricks I'm going to share with you in this video, because if you want to go from a ChatGPT beginner to a ChatGPT Pro, this is the video for you. So tip number one is that you need to make sure that you're customizing ChatGPT so that you actually get better responses than it should be giving you. In order to do this, you're going to click on right here. You're going to move me down a little bit, and you are going to click Customize ChatGPT. Now, from here, you could tell ChatGPT what to call you. You could tell it what you do. You could tell it what traits it should have. And if you come under information right here, it gives you some things that you could tell it. For example, use a formal or professional tone, be casual and chatty, be opinionated, or if you don't want it to have certain opinions, tell it that here. And again, you could add in different things here. You can refresh this and get additional things. And then also, anything else you want ChatGPT to know about you, you should make sure that you add in right here. For example, what you do, your preferences, all things like that, because this is going to customize ChatGPT for you so that it actually gives you better responses for what you need. Now, this immediately brings me into tip number two, which is you also need to make sure you have advanced capabilities turned on with ChatGPT. So again, we're going to come into customize. We're going to scroll down right here and see advanced right here. You need to make sure that web search is going to be enabled, DALL-E is going to be enabled, code is going to be enabled, and Canvas are going to be enabled, because if not, you're not going to have the full features that ChatGPT actually offers you. Now, tip number three is you need to make sure that you are occasionally clearing ChatGPT's memory to make sure that it doesn't have things in there that aren't actually relevant to you. Let me show you how to do this. Personalization right here, you are going to see memory. Now, if we come in here and click manage, you are going to see a bunch of different memories that have been memorized here. And what you want to make sure that you do, and I would do this like once every 2 weeks, is go through this and make sure that none of this is stuff that doesn't actually relate to you. For example, starting an LLC to buy real estate, I'm not actually doing that. So I'm going to forget that. Friend is Nick Kalsick. He's a runner. I don't want ChatGPT to know that. So again, I'm going to get it to forget this. Now, if you ever want to type something in the ChatGPT, but you don't want anybody else to be able to see that you did that, or you don't want it to be saved in memory, here's what you need to do. Simply come over to what you're about to do right here and click temporary chat, and boom, this is basically going to bring up like an incognito window where they aren't going to save whatever you put, and you won't be able to reference it in your past chats, and it won't be saved to your memory. Now, there are still so many other things we need to go through, like how to get ChatGPT to automate things and how to correctly craft prompts in order to get the response that you want from ChatGPT. But before we get into those, I need you to smash that subscribe button if you want to learn more about the latest and greatest AI tools. I literally upload videos every single week, and you're not going to want to miss them. Now, the next thing that you need to make sure that you do is you need to stop just prompting ChatGPT. This is one of the worst things that you could do. Instead, you want to make sure that you are asking ChatGPT things like this. For example, I'm going to say to ChatGPT, I need advice on what stocks I should be buying right now in order to hit my retirement goals. Can you tell me what I should look into? But before giving me a response, and this is the part that you need to start adding in, you want to say, please make sure you're asking me questions that fill in any relevant context that you might need. Now, watch what happens when I talk to ChatGPT now. Now, what it's going to do is it's not just going to give me a response. It is going to think about all the questions it should ask me first, because one of the biggest mistakes that you're making right now with ChatGPT is you are just asking it questions, and it's going to give you a response because that's what it does, but it's not going to take into consideration all the relevant information that it needs. So what this did right here is it went through and came up with a bunch of different questions here. Almost a dozen different questions that I have to make sure that I answer in order to get a better response out of ChatGPT that's actually more personalized. And I would strongly suggest that you do this every single time you prompt ChatGPT. Now, actually make this even better, you could go into your customization and you could add in as a preference that you always want ChatGPT to ask you additional questions before it ever responds to you. So the next tip is going to be making sure that you are actually prompting ChatGPT correctly. And in order to do this, I wanted to share with you a formula right here. So this is the formula that I would make sure that you use every single time that you go to prompt ChatGPT. You need to have the task/objective. You need to give context and details. And then you also need to give constraints and desired format. Plus, Tell ChatGPT to ask any additional context in order to fill in the missing context. Tip number 6 is going to be making sure that you're actually providing ChatGPT with what your desired outcome looks like, because this makes it way better at giving you exactly what you want. Let's say that I was going to be asking ChatGPT to make me a script for a TikTok about how to use ChatGPT. Here's how I'd actually do it. I wouldn't just come to ChatGPT and say, hey, can you give me a script for this? Instead, I'd do this. Now, there are basically two ways that you could do this. The first way that you could do this is doing what I did right here. Can you write me a script for a TikTok video that is about how to use ChatGPT in 2025? Here is what my competitor's script look like. And then I actually put that below. And then it says, ideally mine should be the same length, but much better when it comes to the hook and holding audience retention. Now, what this did was show ChatGPT exactly what your output should actually look like in order for it to give you a good output. Now, what you could also do here is you could upload a file. I can't do that with this model right here, but if we change this over here, for example, we're going to use GPT-4o, we could click right here, we could connect to Google Drive, or we could upload something from a computer. So you could give it a document, you could give it a screenshot of something, and things like that in order to, again, assist it with knowing exactly what the output should actually look like. Now, this prompt right here is going to lead us into the next thing that you need to make sure that you're doing. And trust me, this is going to blow your mind. So what we're going to do here is we're going to type this out. We're going to give it this. And now what this is going to give us back is going to be that script. But the next tip is making sure that you don't just take whatever script it gives you. And this can be applied both to writing and to coding. Now, in order to actually pull this up, you could just click right down here and click Canvas. Now you'll see here that this is for collaborating on writing and code. Now I'm going to say to ChatGPT, please put the script in Canvas. So what this does now is changes my output to look like this. And this looks a little bit more like a Word document. Now guess what we could do here? Let's say that we didn't like the hook right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this hook right here and we can adjust the formatting, or we could say to ChatGPT, please make this hook even shorter. And what this is going to do is now come through, and this is going to adjust just this single line right here. Instead of us having to re-interact, rewrite the whole thing, it is only going to rewrite this right here. And you can see that this is loading right here. That's why that dot is moving right there. And then you'll see that this only affects the change right here to the hook. And I could have it write multiple hooks. I could have it make it shorter. I could have it make it longer. I could literally have it do whatever I want here. And boom, it literally went through and now just made this hook even shorter. Now, another thing that we could do if we move me up right here is we can come over here. So again, you can grab something right here, come down here, and now you can add emojis. You could add a final polish. You could change the reading level here. For example, you can make it graduate school, or you can make it for a kindergarten level. Or what you could do is you could adjust the length and multiple different things like suggest edits here. Now, this is absolutely amazing. Again, you want to use this whenever you're writing anything or whenever you're coding anything, because this is a way better experience on ChatGPT for doing those two tasks. In addition to that, whenever you're doing something like this, you want to make sure that you're using the projects feature. So in order to do this, I'm going to come out of here and you're going to see that I have some projects created. Now, if we click on this right here, we can name a project. For example, I'm going to name this YouTube titles right here. And then what we will be able to do inside of this project is add custom instructions and add in different files. For example, I have this YouTube scripts one right here. Now, what I have in here is I have very specific instructions that I needed to be an expert scriptwriter for YouTube videos and how to grow on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok niche. And I need to use you to outline my videos. I've given you specific instructions in a file with the 3 ways that I like to outline my videos. And what I did here was I uploaded a PDF right here that actually outlines how I like to actually write my videos. Now ChatGPT knows exactly what to do. All I literally have to do now is say, I'm making a video about the YouTube algorithm, write out the script, and guess what this does? This literally goes through and creates me a script now based on the exact outlines that I like to use with the data that I've actually uploaded to it. And you'll see that this writes out a perfect script here. And now guess what we could do? We could take this, we can put it in the canvas, and we could go through and actually have it do secret number 1, secret number 2, secret number 3, and look at this. It has the perfect formatting, exactly how I like my things formatted. It has transition phrases. It's going to add a call to action in down here. It has a hook up here, and this is absolutely perfect. And it has everything that I could come through and fill in to actually create a YouTube video in my style. But that would have never happened with just normal ChatGPT. I needed to create a project and give it that additional information. For this next tip, we need to make sure that you're actually using the right model when it comes to ChatGPT. So I'm going to open up a new chat right here, and I'm going to go through when I would use each of these models. You're going to want to focus on a few different things here. One, GPT 4.0. This is good for just like basic ChatGPT. If you're just doing something super basic, I would use this right here. If you want to be able to schedule out tasks for later, for example, if we come over here and come under my tasks, I have a bunch of different things here. For example, get personalized news or a bunch of things like that. You can come in here and actually schedule out a bunch of tasks. Like I have this set up. If we come into tasks and we come into edit, where this gives me personalized news every morning at 9 a.m., where it says search for news about technology, the New York Yankees, the Florida Panthers hockey team, and notify me with updates. And then I get message updates on my email about this, or I could view this chat where it literally goes through and gives me the news every single morning. And you can set this up literally for anything. You could have a ChatGPT task to do anything that you would normally get ChatGPT to do, and you can schedule it out. For example, I'm a YouTuber, so if I want to do YouTube title ideas every day, it can go through and actually send me that. That's just about the only thing that this model right here is going to be useful for. Now, we need to open up a new tab right here so we can see the rest of them, but O1 is going to be good for advanced reasoning, but what's even better is O3 Mini, because O3 Mini is incredibly fast. O3 Mini High is going to be great at coding and logic, and O1 Pro Mode is going to be the best at reasoning. And if we come into more models right here, to be completely honest, I would completely ignore these. So all I would really stick to right now, if I were you, is I would stick to O3 Mini because it's faster at reasoning than O1, or I would stick to O3 Mini High because it's great at coding and it's great at logic. Now, there are still about 7 other tips and tricks that we need to go through, so let's start to go through these a little bit quicker. The next thing that you need to make sure that you're doing is using this right here, voice mode. What this is going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to actually chat to ChatGPT by just talking to it. And the reason that you want to do that is talking to ChatGPT is actually way easier than typing out prompts. Now, you don't want it to talk back to you, but you want to talk to it because you are able to talk way quicker than you're going to be able to type. The next thing that you could do is if you click into search right here, this is going to allow you to actually search the internet and allow ChatGPT to search the internet to give you responses. And this is really good if you're trying to do something that you want ChatGPT to go through articles or to look at news or something along the lines of that. The next thing is this deep research function. This is absolutely amazing, and it will stop you from ever having to research anything ever again. What you're able to do with deep research is literally get ChatGPT to write you up a research report. Look at this. I use deep research in order to do this, and I prompted it. I said, I have $250,000 in cash that I'd like to invest over the next 12 months. Can you give me a report on where I should consider investing and why? And then this literally goes through and it says, can you share more details about your investment preferences? Remember earlier on when I told you you need to get ChatGPT to actually ask you questions? Well, when you do this, it automatically does that. So this went through and asked me a bunch of questions. I gave it the answers, and then it created a plan. And this went through and actually did research where it looked at 13 different sources, and it did this for 10 minutes. And then it gave me an investment report for exactly how I should invest based on the initial prompt that I gave it and the answers that I gave it right here. Look at how long this investment report is, and it cites its sources right here. This literally goes through and did all of the research that I needed to do. It did 10 minutes of research and literally wrote me this incredible thesis on exactly how I should invest. And again, you could get this to do anything. If you're still using Google search, I would stop using that right now and I would start solely using this feature. The next feature you need to know about, though, is going to be ChatGPT Operator. So if you click on Operator, here's what you're going to find. Now, essentially what you could do here is you get ChatGPT to interact with the rest of the internet. Now, if you come down here and you click into this, a lot of people don't know that this actually exists. You could come over here and turn on browser notifications, and you can also give custom instructions just for ChatGPT Operator about how you want it to complete tasks. And you can come in to save tasks right here. So when you create tasks, they can save here so that you don't actually have to tell it to do something again. And you can come into all the different websites the ChatGPT operator really easily is going to be able to access right here. For example, you could have it find you Airbnbs, and you could come in here and you can log out and clear site data, or you could come in and give it additional instructions specifically for this website. And you could literally get this to do anything. Look at all these different use cases. You could get it to find different concert tickets. You could get it to order your food. You can get it to go shopping and find you something that you could want to buy. You could get it to find you the highest rated 5-star resort in the Bahamas, or any hotel, or any car, or any flight, or anything like that based on your preferences. And you can also have it create a watch list of stocks on the stock market, or just get it to find information for you. For example, I'm going to ask this right here, please find me the top 5 highest gaining crypto coins of today. Now watch what this does. This literally opens up an operator screen here, and this goes ahead and does this. But what's even more powerful is if I come over here, I can see that this is the only one running. Let's say I wanted to look up 10 other things. I'd come over here. I would get this to go and do it. Like maybe I needed to order some food right now, or I needed to find some tickets, or whatever the case is. And this literally goes through and actually does this. I mean, look at this. This is literally going through here and figuring out exactly what the highest gainers are today, and then it gives them to me. So now I don't actually have to go and do that. I could get this robot to do this for me. This is an absolute game changer. Now, I do have 2 more tips and tricks for you. The next one is going to be coming into GPTs, and this is similar to projects. Basically, what you could do here is you could come through the top picks, writing, productivity, research and analysis, or you could search for things like, for example, I'm going to search for YouTube, and this will show me a bunch of different GPTs that people have created. For example, this one right here that allows you to summarize and analyze different YouTube videos. So summarize a YouTube video, summarize a file, give me the key points from the file, make a research assistant, and this literally goes through and gives you all the different ratings, all the different capabilities. You can start a chat here, and you will then be able to message this, upload things to it, you'll be able to talk to it, and this is basically trained on creating good YouTube videos. You can find GPTs for anything, or you can literally create your own GPT, publish it so that other people can use it. Now, on top of that, the last thing that you need to make sure that you're doing, and this is one of the most overlooked things, is you need to make sure you're telling ChatGPT if this was a bad response or if this was a good response so that it actually trains and gets better over time. Now, if you like this video, you're going to love this video right here that walks you through 7 different ChatGPT hacks that you need to know in 2025.